So yesterday I was reminiscing on my times as a student here in Beijing, and I kind of realized I haven't been back to Wudaokou, which is the area around where I studied, since I was a student here in Beijing. I'm half frozen, but I've arrived at Wudaokou. So you've got all your basic amenities, KFC, McDonald's, Bar Street. So I thought, you know what, I've got time today. Why not walk there? Look, I've been doing a lot of walking recently here in Beijing, but this is definitely my most ambitious walking route yet. I live here in Guomao, which is in the east of Beijing, and my destination, Wudaokou, is in the northwest of the city. So I'm literally planning today to walk across one of the biggest cities in the world. Will I make it? I don't know. Am I already out of breath? Kind of. Wish me luck. First things first, coffee. And there's a place here that actually does a decent flat white, which is an Australian style of coffee. And it's this place here. It's just a little coffee window. And I tend to come here on my way walking somewhere. So while I wait for my coffee, I thought I'd introduce the sponsor for today's video, and that's the Insta360 1x2. It's a 360-degree camera. You can see there it's got two camera lenses there, and it works by taking the image from this camera and then putting it together to form a 360-degree view. And I know what you're thinking, why do I need a 360-degree camera? Well, there are actually quite a few very compelling reasons. The first reason is because it's a 360-degree view, you can just point the camera, record, and then you can decide later when you're editing it how you want to frame the shot. You don't have to worry about getting the shot that you want at the time, like with the conventional camera. You just stick it up, point, and go. And you can get really creative in the editing app to choose how you want to edit your shots. The second reason is that because it's a 360 camera, it actually has the ability to make the selfie stick invisible. So you can get some really cool shots like this. In the app, you can also find a lot of pre-made settings and themes that you can very easily input your footage and come out with an awesome, really creative result. So Guomao here is pretty much the ultra-modern side of Beijing. Those shiny, tall skyscrapers like the ones you see behind me here. Got the Pants building behind me there. Yeah, a lot of expensive restaurants, expensive malls, a lot of malls, all of which I can't afford. Yeah, the reason I'm living in such an expensive part of the city is one of my best friends lives here. He has a spare room, so I moved in. So what I'm really hoping to show today in this video is the many different sides and facets of Beijing. It's a fascinating city. We're beginning our walk here in the ultra-modern Guomao, and we are now heading towards our first stop, which is breakfast, and I'm going to be taking that in the Dongcheng Hutong. It should be about a 2-hour walk from here. We are now walking down probably one of my favorite roads in Beijing. It's just so beautiful. This is the road where all of the embassies are. And it's gorgeous, it's tree-lined streets, a little bit of autumn leaves left, but actually last weekend there was this crazy cold frost and all of the leaves went. They were blown away by the wind, and it also snowed. If we would have done this video like a week ago, all of these trees here would be red, orange, golden. It was so beautiful, but alas, Beijing autumn is very short. It was like 2 weeks, it felt like. Look, all the ginkgo leaves, they've fallen. Oh my gosh, look, there's still a little bit of snow left. Oh, look at that. This here is another place I come to a lot. It's Jingshan Park, the sun park. I often come here to do like a couple of laps of the grounds. It's so beautiful. Actually, let's go inside. I'll give you a look. It's pretty much your average inner city park. People doing their exercises, dances, among other fun hobbies like this one. So as I mentioned, this is the Sun Temple Park, and this mural here shows the emperor, ministers, and other people worshipping the sun. And very appropriately, this park is a great place to grab some sunshine and stretch the legs after a day of work. So yeah, that's the Sun Park. Now it's time to get back on track and keep heading towards Dongcheng district, which is that away. I absolutely love this spot here, and I always stop here when I walk here. It's a pedestrian walkway that's literally right in the middle of the intersection of 4 main roads coming from the north, south, east and west. So this is where we've just come from, the east. You can see the shiny buildings in the distance. That's a sign of the business district. This is where we're going here towards the west. And I'm gonna pop into this Hutong just here to grab some breakfast. Actually, every time I walk past here, there's always a line of people here. I think they're lining up for chestnuts because it smells so beautiful. 为什么这么多人来这里排队吗？
是北京特色之一吧，这儿历史好多年了，23年了。
23年都在这个地方吗？
对对。
So I think that accounts for the massive line every day. People know what they're gonna get. They've also got peanuts, guazi, and all manner of dried fruits. I opted for the chestnuts though. 可以. Okay, so I've got my chestnuts, my lizi, and I am just entering a Hutong now. This is Dongcheng, I believe. And I just love how once I've entered a Hutong, I feel like I've just gone into another dimension, another time. So peaceful. So I guess now's as good a time as any to test out these chestnuts. And I'm so glad I did this because you know when you walk past somewhere all the time, people are always lining up and you're just like, can never be bothered to go and sit. Well anyway, today I was bothered. And let's see whether these chestnuts live up to the hype. Oh, so good, so sweet. Honestly, the smell of chestnuts roasting is the smell of Beijing in winter to me. Chestnuts and sweet potato roasting, oh my gosh. But don't get me wrong, I'm still keen for a full-on breakfast. Hey, 我想问一下，附近有地方吃早餐吗？
几点了还吃早餐？这午餐了。
哦，对，已经10点半。
马路边上。
马路边上。
对。
有推荐吗？
这个拐弯这儿有面。
面，好吧，谢谢。
要吃早餐，我这都几点了
He was shocked. How could you eat breakfast still at 10:30? Boy, you've never heard of brunch. Well, here's something. Biang biang mian. It's not a Beijing specialty, but it sounds pretty freaking good right now. Oh, time for a well-deserved rest. I am pooped already. How far have I walked? So far, I've done just over 11,000 steps, 6.8 kilometers. Still got a lot further to go, so I think this bowl of carbs will be much appreciated. This is like literally exactly what the doctor ordered. Here is my big bowl of biang biang mian. If you haven't come across this dish before, I've talked about it quite a lot, but if you're new to my channel, this is biang biang mian. It's a noodle from Shanxi province where Xi'an is, and they're basically these super wide noodles. They're sometimes called belt noodles because they look like a little bit like a belt, and yeah, topped with lots of different toppings, some meat, some greens, but it's yeah, basically just a carb fest. I've got to mix it up good and proper because all of those juices need to combine. So far, good color, good oil to meat to veggie ratio, and listen to this. Let's try. Not bad. I'm a bit of a biang biang noodle snob, so it takes a lot to impress me with biang biang noodles. This I'd give a 6 out of 10. See that pagoda up there? That's our next stop. Let's speed this up a bit. For obvious reasons, this is one of my favorite places in Beijing. You have the most beautiful view over the Forbidden City, kind of more of a bird's eye view that you don't really get when you go inside the Forbidden City. And it's not just a view over the Forbidden City you get. Oh no, here you've got access to the best views over the entire city. So on a clear day like this, you get 360-degree, uninterrupted views all across the city. And this is the absolute perfect vantage point because this is almost the exact middle of the city. Check that out. You can see from here all of the mountains that surround this city getting taller and taller as you head towards the west. And you can see how far we've come. That big building, that tall building in the distance there, I live like 5 minutes away from that. So we essentially started there. And the direction we're going to be heading after we leave Jingshan Park is that way. So we're kind of cutting diagonally across Beijing, but you'll see on the way to get in that direction, there is a lake. Can you see that lake there? That's our next stop. Okay, this is saying I've done 8.7 kilometers, 14,200 and something steps. Let's begin our descent. At the bottom, there are a lot of excited people with cameras. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a fruit. Everyone's out here with their massive, massive lenses. Look at this lens over here. 问一下，这是什么水果？柿子。Honestly, the sights keep coming and coming and coming on this walk. I am here now at Beihai Gongyuan, and it's actually the largest, oldest, and best preserved ancient imperial garden in China, and it's located right smack bang in the middle of Beijing. We're here right now. So I did need to get a ticket to enter this park, but it was only 5 RMB. That's like $1, so it didn't really set me back at all. It features a lovely lake known as Beihai and the surrounding gardens, which are just as lovely. So there's a lot of lakes in this area. We are exiting Beihai Park as we speak, and we're pretty much going to head directly into another lake, which you can just see on the other side there. So this lake here is called Tianhai, which then leads on to another lake, Hohai. And in probably about a month or so, this lake will freeze over and people actually will ice skate on it. It's really cute. So we're about to head into a bit of a food area, a bit of a food street. And I think I'm due for another snack, so we're going to be checking that out, get ourselves a street snack. So I've come across something here that I've never tried before, and I'm so glad I didn't try to translate the name of it first. The name of this snack, guanchang, literally translates to enema. 问一下，这是什么东西？
这是灌肠。
是北京小吃吗？
对，北京小吃炸灌肠，红薯粉做的一种小吃。
Guanchang was originally made by stuffing starch and spices into pig intestines, so I guess that's where the appetizing enema name came from. But these days, the intestines are omitted and it's simply made from sweet potato starch. 是辣的还是什么味道？
就是这蒜汁儿的。哦，不辣，蒜汁儿。
蒜汁儿？
对。
Yeah, wow, never seen anything like this before. So first step, these enema flakes are dropped into the deep fryer where it spends a few minutes getting nice and crispy. Then it's drained, put into the bowl and doused with garlic juice. Well, it's a lot of garlic. There you have it, the Beijing enema. Okay, I feel like I need to eat this ASAP because the wind has arrived, it's super windy and this is cooling down. I feel like it's enjoyed best crispy. The smell is like overwhelmingly garlicky. It is like the most garlicky thing I've ever smelled in my life. Super crispy as expected. It's like a deep fried noodle with garlic. See that garlic juice here. That's really good. Really Moorish. Kind of like hot chips, you know, you just can't stop eating. These will be gone in a jiffy. So I'm just here eating this, but opposite me where I'm sitting right now, that looks pretty cool. I've never tried that before. 你好，问一下，这是什么？
这是驴打滚。
是怎么做的？
它是里面是糯米嘛，然后里面加上馅儿，豆沙馅儿。
哦。
完让外面裹了一层就是各种各味儿、各种各样的那个口味的。
甜的吗？
对，甜的。
那有这么多口味呢？哪个是比较传统的？
传统的就是这个原味的。
好的，那来一个原味的。
一个原味的。
谢谢。多少钱
？38一斤，按斤称。
哦，我不要1斤，我就要一个。
是一个就可以。
一个就可以。So it comes in all these flavors.
要不你可以再来个椰蓉的，椰蓉的也可以。
椰蓉。
对，椰蓉。
这个嘛。
对。
I've decided also to try one of these because you know, when in Rome, eat all the snacks. 一共是36呢。36. Okay, so it's measured by weight. definitely the most expensive thing I've eaten today. So he's gonna help me cut it into little pieces. It'll be easier for me to eat. Oh, it looks really good. 谢谢。我从国贸走到这里，然后我要走到五道口。
从国贸那边走到对面，还要走到5号口。
对，
真的是很好长啊。
Okay, so I've come inside where it's a little bit warmer. Very excited to try this because there's a lot of garlic happening in my mouth right now. I feel like I need something more on the sweet side to tone that down and to rid my mouth of that intense flavor, as yummy as it was. Wow, look at this. Made from sticky rice. Check out that texture, very sticky. So the white stuff you can see there, kind of chewy looking consistency, that's made from sticky rice. And then this inside bit, that's made from red bean. Interesting. It is an interesting texture. It's kind of like glutinous. It's like sticky rice. It's made out of sticky rice. So if you've tried red bean products before, you'll probably know kind of what this tastes like. Good. It tastes traditional. I'm glad that I got an extra one. Get to try a little bit more variety of flavors. Same texture, but I'm guessing this is dried coconut on the outside. That would make sense. Coconutty. But very subtle, not overwhelming. Great success. I'm full. Ready to keep walking. Okay, so before we head off, let's just do a step count check so you guys know that I'm following this challenge to the T. Done 18,400 steps, 11.3 kilometers so far. I need to start making a beeline for Wudaokou because it's 2 p.m. and by my calculations, it should take me about 3 hours to get there from here. So if I want to get there before nightfall, I need to get moving. I just had to stop because sometimes in life you just have to stop and smell the roses a little bit and appreciate where you are. So beautiful. I love this city. Now it's really time to hot foot it. Very exciting moment just happened. I just stepped over the boundary into Haidian district, which is the last district I'm going to be walking through today. And one thing you should know about Haidian is there are a lot of universities here. It's like a university district. The university that I studied at in Beijing is also here in Haidian district. That's what we're walking to right now. And we're actually just passing the first university on our walk so far. So this is Beijing Beijing Normal University, also a very prestigious university here in China. I've actually never walked past it before. It's really beautiful. Oh my goodness, I had to stop because this brings back memories. This is the cafe, well not this exact one, but this chain, Sculpting in Time Cafe, was one of my go-to places both in Shanghai when I was studying and also in Beijing when I was studying. Well, let's see what it looks like today. Hey, 你好. Go upstairs. Oh, yeah. Exactly the same vibe. Back in the day, I just plant myself at one of these tables and just study for like 5 hours. But no time to rest. We only have a couple of hours of daylight left, and I want to show you the gates of my campus before it gets dark. Oh my goodness, I am so close, guys. I am just turning onto Chengfulu, which is the road that Wudaokou station is on. And I had a lot of friends that studied at the university just up here. This is Beijing Yuan Daxue, Beijing Language University. Okay, so I've officially arrived in Nostalgia Central. This is the Wudaokou area, and as I mentioned, there's a lot of universities in this area, also a lot of students. This is like the student center, so there's a lot of bars, restaurants, shops. I spent a lot of time at this mall. Not the best mall ever, but you know, it was the closest one. It's so crazy because I haven't been here for like 4 or 5 years since I was studying here. So being here again kind of brings back the Amy that I was 4 or 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, I was making videos of like exercise content for Chinese social media. The cringiest content you'll ever see. So at least, hopefully my videos have gotten a little less cringy. I can't speak for that, but oh look here, Wudaokou station. So So I've technically arrived at my destination because throughout this walking trip I've been putting Wudaokou station as my pin on my map, but there's still a little bit further I want to go because I want to take you guys to the gates of my old university, and I think that's when the maximum nostalgia factor will kick in. Oh, getting all the feels right now. So this is the gate to my university that I studied at, Tsinghua Daxue. Such a beautiful campus. I wish I could take you guys inside, but because of COVID, I can only go to that point here. I still remember the first day I arrived here at Tsinghua Daxue, and I came here and I took a photo of me jumping in front of this sign. Wow, time passes so quickly. So many amazing memories here. I'm feeling like really weirdly overwhelmed actually. Like my life changed here. This is where I started vlogging and kind of going in a different direction of life, and I wouldn't be right here making this vlog if it wasn't for the time that I spent here, the friendships I made, the experiences I had. I mean, that was the year I was in a Chinese dating show. So I'm just feeling really grateful right now. Yeah. Kind of emotional. In other news, I've arrived at my destination. Let's do a final step count. 32,212 steps, 21 kilometers. So I guess I walked a half marathon. It gives me such a respect for people who run marathons. Like, imagine doing this, but twice, and running it. I'm already so exhausted and I've just been walking. And of course, couldn't have filmed this video today without the help of this camera here, this little superstar, the Insta360 One X2. I'm so impressed with it, especially its battery power. I've been using this constantly all day since 8 AM till right now at 4:30 PM, and it hasn't drained a battery yet, so that's cool. So if you want to learn more about this little 360 cam here, or maybe you want to get one for yourself or a loved one, Christmas is coming up after all, you can hit the link in my description for some more information. Thanks guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was interesting. My legs are pretty sore. Looking forward to, I guess, what do I do now? Get in a taxi and go home? All that hard work walking and then just driving home. That'll feel weird. Before getting in that taxi, I've decided to come and get some Korean fried chicken instead, because what's the point of walking 21 kilometers if you can't eat like this afterwards? I've actually been here a few times. This is a popular Korean restaurant here in Wudaokou. There's a lot of Korean restaurants here in Wudaokou because there's a lot of Korean students that study here. And it's very personal, me coming here, because when I came here all those years ago, I had 3 bowls of rice while all my friends had fried chicken, and I was so jealous. The reason why I had 3 bowls of rice for dinner is because when I was here at Tsinghua, it was torture, but I actually had 8 months of an elimination diet that I had to do because I was sick for years and we couldn't figure out what it was that was causing it and what I was allergic to. So my doctor, before coming to China, really awful timing, but he put me on this elimination diet where basically I couldn't eat gluten, dairy, soy, there was other stuff as well, but so many things I couldn't eat. So when I would go out for dinner, I would routinely just have a bowl of rice, and it was the most depressing thing ever. So today I'm here to finally eat the fried chicken that I was drooling over that one day. Oh. Yes. So that really is the end of the video now. I'm gonna polish this off very happily and eventually head home. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.